Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Sami Abdul Rahman al-Haj, and today I'm going to demonstrate and exploit the Bluekeep vulnerability. Starting with some introduction, this vulnerability was first discovered in 14th May 2019 by the UK National Cybersecurity Centre. It affects pre-Windows 8 versions such as Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows Vista, etc. Talking deeply and technically about the Bluekeep vulnerability. Bluekeep is a critical remote code execution vulnerability in Microsoft's remote desktop protocol services. What we mean by remote code execution is that an attacker could launch or execute malicious code without the interference of the target system or the user, which is actually considered a pre-authentication weakness that needs no user interaction. After the attacker installs or executes his code, he may install programs, access, alter, or remove data, or build new accounts with full user rights on that machine. The risk is significant because it attacks an operating system remote desktop protocol. Remote desktop protocol allows multiple machines connected into the same network to communicate to each other. Why is it considered a big deal? The Bluekeep vulnerability, according to Microsoft, could lead to a wormable cybersecurity outbreak. What we mean by wormable is that the attack could propagate from one machine to another machine that is connected and is vulnerable to that attack, and it's connected to the same network also. After the attacker runs his code, he can access the machine without a username and a password, as we will see in the demonstration part. Some Bluekeep threats. It affects RDP services, remote desktop protocol services used by millions of machines worldwide. It allows remote code execution. It can be weaponized to be wormable and may be also weaponized to cause ransomware attacks, which costs millions and millions each year. Some potential targets: Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, Windows Vista, Windows XP, and also Windows Server 2003. Will the Bluekeep affect me? Actually, if you have not updated your Windows into Windows 8 or Windows 10, you're actually vulnerable to such an attack. What can be done to prevent the Bluekeep? Patch and keep the systems and its application updated. Restrict or secure the use of remote desktop services. For example, blocking port 3389. This port allows the establishment of a connection between the attacker and the victim. Enable network level authentication level to prevent unauthenticated attackers from exploiting Bluekeep. Actually, network level authentication provides credentials that an attacker must submit in order to exploit the Bluekeep or even to gain access into the system. And disable remote desktop services if they are not required. It is a best practice to always disable some services even without the Bluekeep threat. In conclusion, Bluekeep poses a risk to anyone who continues to use unsupported Windows operating systems. This essentially means that it will affect about 1 million computers linked to the internet. The Bluekeep vulnerability poses a major risk because it targets the remote desktop protocol in Windows operating system. As we said, the remote desktop protocol allows the establishment between multiple connections of multiple machines connected on the same network. And now let us go to the fun part, which is the demonstration part. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now we will start with the demonstration part. At first, we should have a virtual machine, two virtual machines, one for the Kali Linux and one for the Windows 7. We will get the IP address of the Windows 7, which will be our target machine IP configuration. This command in Windows 7 shows us all the connections and the IP addresses. And here's the IP address for Windows 7. Then we'll go to our machine, which we will launch the attack from. We're going to launch MSF console. Gonna wait for it. While we're waiting for it, we're going to discover our IP address, ifconfig in Linux. We can see that our IP address is 192.168.241.128. While we wait, Okay, now we're going to search for the vulnerability, search Bluekeep, which is the vulnerability that we will exploit. We can see the exploit. It's this one. Use one. Now we will show options to check what should we configure and what should we not. Okay, we need to configure the R hosts, which is the target machine. Set R hosts. We're going to put in the IP address 192.168.241.130. And for some reasons, Windows 7 won't take a group size larger than 200, larger than 50. So we will set the group size to 50. And we will show targets. We can see that Windows 7 is running on VMware Workstation 15.1. So we will set target to 5. And now we will run the exploit. We're going to wait for it. Okay, it is actually now establishing a TCP connection, and it did. I'm going to take a reverse shell connection. And as you see, we are now into the Windows 7 machine. Let's check system info. Here is the machine that I have attacked. And it actually shows that it is running on VMware virtual platform. And its owner is Sami. For example, now I can create a file. .cd. Okay, cd users, cd Sami, cd desktop. I can create a file, for example, make dir u hacked. Let's go to the Windows 7 machine. We're going to find that it created a file here. That's the end of the demonstration. Thank you for watching.